a weekly occurrence, and this is also a question and answer period. So if you do have any questions about anything relating to the bottom line, remember the three elements that go into the bottom line: gross revenue, costs of the widgets, and then all the other costs and expenses. And when you take the one and subtract the other two, you end up with something called net income. And that is what we're talking about here. Now, it's not the only important thing in your business. Cash flow is certainly very important as well, but profit is basically a key measurement of how your business is doing. You make so much money, you spend so much money to make the money. If you have money left over, you have net income, and that's what we're all about here. So this is particularly important in our new target niche, as it were. Those of you in the medical profession, we have been reaching out to you and basically talking about how we're able to fulfill your specific needs. Now, I understand that there are probably lay people out there that believe that you're a doctor, you're rich. You go to school for a long time, then you get out and you grab the brass ring and everything's peachy. But there are a lot of overheads, aren't there? Also, there are a lot of hurdles to actually getting paid for what you do in the first place. So net income is a crucial component of the performance metric of how your medical practice is doing. So cost of goods sold. Now, this is the thing in my particular practice and my theory of accounting, the costs that go into gross profit, which is the first or highest profit line, there is a section known as cost of goods sold, or COGS. Now, this is in tax forms and as well as accounting theory. It does include the cost of labor. So your subcontractors as well as your W-2 employees belong in this category. I'm certain that not everybody does it that way, but here we do. And the reason is simple. We do a lot of S corporation work, and we want to be able to differentiate what the owner officers of the business are making from the other selling and administrative expenses. So, and if you are doing a business tax return, be it a partnership, S corp, or even C corp, then you have, under normal circumstances, had your cost of labor is above the gross profit line. Selling administrative is all the other things. So, and that's simple enough. We know that includes your advertising, your bank charges, travel, utilities, education is important, especially we have that in common. My physicians and I, is a need for continuing professional education, or CPE, and the costs of getting that done and passing those credits is all legitimate expense. So, in any event, this is, as I say, a weekly event. We do this every Wednesday morning on Hump Day. 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time is 7:30 in Los Angeles and 10:30 in New York. And if you happen to be in Chicago, that's Central, isn't it? Then that would be 9:30. So, and upon occasion, we've traveled, and I've found myself in the Central Zone and started this meeting at the incorrect time because I forgot where I was. But for the most part, we are here every single Wednesday at 8:30, and this is a question and answer. So I just want to belabor the point. If you have a question and you'd like it read live, or if you just like it answered, we would like to actually read it live so other people can benefit from whatever response I happen to come up with for you. So if you have a question and you're watching this in replay, in other words, you're not live, but you're just catching this on whatever feed you're looking at this on, then do please type your questions into the comments. We take a look at our Facebook and LinkedIn streams every single day, and we will save it and we'll read it live and on the air the following Wednesday, and we'll address it for you. So I don't know if I have any specific topic to discuss this week. I know it's the last Wednesday of November, and that means we are in the final stretch of the year. Most people, I guess I will talk about calendar year. We'll keep this short this week if no one has a question. I do appreciate the comment I got from Mandana. Thank you. But if no one has a question, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of briefly touch on what we call tax year. So, and then we'll wrap up in less than 10 minutes, hopefully. So you are allowed to report your income on what's known as a fiscal year. And a fiscal year is just basically anything that isn't January 1st to December 31st. If you are using that year, and over 9/10 of us do, that's simply known as calendar year. That makes good sense, right? So, but some people need a fiscal year. Our federal government's on one, honestly, to be frank. The federal government's fiscal year begins on October 1st. I don't understand why, and I don't have to. It's okay. But that is one of the reasons that the third quarter estimated tax payment deadline is in the middle of September. They're looking for a little more money before the fiscal year ends. So I was doing this for years before I sat down and did a bunch of digging to see if there was an answer to that. And that's it. So calendar year. If you are a business, you want to use calendar year if you don't have a compelling reason to use something else. And here's a simple reason why. If you're going through life with a spouse, for example, if you have an other than calendar year reporting, like let's say, and I can think of an example. I used to do whitewater rafting. I was not a guide, but I was one of the drivers many years ago. And they have a fiscal year simply because they can't start making money until April. So in that case, certainly you can do that. And honestly, thinking about it, they could actually also do calendar year if they wanted to. The point is this: if you can use calendar year and you don't have a super compelling reason not to do that, you are going to be basically dragging your whole family into a non-calendar year situation for your Form 1040, your personal individual income taxes, if you use anything other than calendar. So that choice will come up when I do a S-Corp election for somebody, and I'll say, what year do you want to report? Pick calendar year, unless, like I say, you have some overwhelming reason why not to. So I guess there's a short hot tip for the day. Calendar year is just going to be easier for you. Another thing is, if you do choose fiscal year and then you decide after a couple of years that you made a bad decision, you actually have to write the IRS and ask permission to change back and go through a whole bunch of hoops. And the less you have to deal with the IRS, the better, because they communicate very slowly. So calendar year is the way to go. And I hope that's helpful. And if you have any questions about anything at all, bottom line related, and especially one of the biggest expenses that affect the bottom line, taxes, we're here to help you with that as well. We're an enrolled agent firm, which means that we deal with the IRS all the time. And taxes is one of our key things. Advanced tax planning strategies is a big part of what we do. So let us know if we can help. Ask your questions. We're here to answer them. So until next week and the first Wednesday of December, hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. Excuse me. And have a great rest of your week and an awesome beginning of December and an amazing weekend. And if you do have a chance, do something randomly kind for a stranger. So until next Wednesday, so long, and we'll